What if the ordinary quarter sitting in your change jar right now is quietly carrying a story most people walked past without a second glance? Look closely at this 1968 Washington quarter. George Washington's profile stares left, calm and resolute. On the reverse, the eagle spreads its wings over arrows and olive branches. At first, it feels familiar, almost forgettable. Yet something about this particular year holds a quiet tension that keeps collectors coming back. 1968 was not an ordinary year for American coinage. Just 3 years earlier, the United States had stripped silver from circulating quarters. The old 90% silver coins disappeared into melting pots and private collections. In their place came a new copper-nickel clad composition, a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. The 1968 quarter belongs to this new era. It weighs 5.67 grams. It feels different in the hand. And for the first time since the mid-1960s, mint marks returned. That detail alone changes everything. Before 1968, mint marks had been removed to discourage hoarding. When they came back, they moved to a new home, no longer on the reverse. Now they sit on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ribbon, beneath the hair. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark at all. Denver coins show a small D. San Francisco produced only proof coins marked S, never released into everyday circulation. Over 300 million of these quarters left the presses that year. Philadelphia alone struck more than 220 million. Denver produced just over 101 million, the lowest mintage of any clad business strike Washington quarter in the entire 1965 to 1998 era. Most of them still spend their lives in cash registers and pockets, worth exactly 25 cents. Circulated examples rarely rise above face value, but condition changes the equation completely. In mint state, especially the higher grades, the story shifts. An average uncirculated 1968 quarter might bring only $1 or $2. Reach MS65 and the premium grows. Climb into MS67 and prices jump into the tens or hundreds. The true condition rarities, those rare MS68 specimens graded by PCGS or NGC, have sold for thousands. One Philadelphia 1968 quarter in MS68 brought $9,400 at auction. A Denver example in the same grade reached over $8,800. These are not everyday finds. They are survivors that somehow escaped the rough journey of commerce with almost no marks. That is the first hidden truth most people miss. The coin is common until it is nearly perfect. Then it becomes scarce. There are other details that reward patient eyes. Look at the edge. A normal clad quarter shows a clear copper stripe between two silvery layers. If one or both outer layers are missing, the copper core shows through in a dull reddish brown. These missing clad errors can bring meaningful premiums. Off-center strikes, die breaks, and certain doubled dies also appear. The most dramatic are the rare transitional pieces, proof coins accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets. Only a tiny number are known. They weigh closer to 6.25 grams instead of 5.67. Finding one would be extraordinary. Yet the real power of this coin is not only in its errors or its top grades, it lives in the quiet atmosphere of the year it was made. 1968 was a year of upheaval. Cities burned, leaders fell. The nation felt the ground shifting under its feet. Somewhere in that same year, presses at Philadelphia and Denver turned out these solid, everyday quarters by the millions. Each one carried the same steady image of Washington that had been on the coin since 1932. The design by John Flanagan had already endured decades. It would endure many more. While the country argued and mourned and hoped, these coins kept moving through ordinary hands, paying for gasoline, buying groceries, disappearing into jar after jar. Collectors feel that weight. They do not only chase value, they chase connection. A high-grade 1968 quarter is a small, perfect survivor from a turbulent time. Holding one is like holding a quiet piece of the year itself. The luster still bright, the details still sharp, the history still present. That is why people look twice at the date. That is why they check the mint mark. That is why they tilt the coin under good light, searching for the tiny signs that separate a 25-cent piece from something that has already traveled farther than most of us will ever know. So here is the question that stays with you after the lights go down and the video ends. If you found a 1968 quarter in your pocket tomorrow, clean, sharp, almost untouched, would you spend it without a second thought? Or would you pause, turn it over in your fingers, and wonder what story it has been carrying all these years? Drop a comment and tell me. Have you ever pulled a 1968 quarter from circulation that made you stop? What year of Washington quarter still sits in your collection, waiting for its moment? And if this story of an ordinary coin with an extraordinary quiet power stayed with you, subscribe. There are more forgotten pieces of American metal still waiting to be noticed.